Welcome back. But you stop there. So, again, we're going to continue with our commandments series here. We're into the fifth commandment. That's honoring your parents. Go ahead and check back on that episode. Um, because it was a good one. This one is entitled Beyond Bloodshed, a deeper call of the sixth commandment. Most people understand that murder is a profound evil. Now, before we get into this, I just want to make sure that this isn't like a. I think there's it's like a today with like media, this and that, kind of like different types of acts, you know, like stuff and like different like each like that. Like conflict generates views, generates interest in people. People's views for conflict. But that doesn't mean that taking from the different that sticks to them and goes that's what we're going to get into. It's not about like diving into why murder is bad because they want to understand that murder is probably bad right here. So they have to like look beyond the ignorant and the basic level teachings. So that's what this is about. So again, like trying to yeah. I think it's just trying to bring awareness to it's different types of like attacks. Effects of it. Okay. Most people understand that murder is the sixth commandment plainly is clear and universally recognized. Yet the Jewish tradition goes further. It teaches that there are ways of harming a human being that do not involve physical violence, yet still strike at the core of their dignity and life force. Public humiliation, character destruction, deliberate crushing of another person's spirit. These acts, the sages teach, carry consequences that approach the severity of bloodshed. Today, we explore the deeper applications of the Sixth Commandment, the ways we can damage the divine image without shedding blood, and why guarding against them is essential for personal integrity and the work of redemption. This teaching is universal for every person who speaks, who holds power in relationships, or who wants to live with greater reverence for human dignity. Rooted in the eternal Torah and illuminated by civic insight, you will discover that protecting a person's honor is itself a sacred act that helps heal the world. Goes back to like balancing, having self-respect, self-esteem, no boundaries, and being present in the world, and like secure that is ourselves, but also being understanding that part of like being here requires us sharing space with people. Okay, the Torah states, "Accept and shall not murder." The sages, however, read this commandment with profound psychological and spiritual sensitivity. In the Talmud, they teach that one who publicly humiliates another person, causing the blood to drain from their face, is regarded as if they have shed blood. We've all talked about something like that. Something where just had that much. The reasoning was striking when a person is deeply shamed and others the color leaves in his face. The safety saw the psychological response as a form of bloodshed. Embarrassing someone publicly is an extreme seriousness. In some teachings, it is said that such a person uses certain common language reserved for the most severe areas. The Torah's broader concern speech reinforces this idea. Destructive talk that ruins a personal reputation, livelihood, understanding of the community is viewed as a grave assault on their ability to live with dignity. The commandment not to stand by the blood of one's neighbor is also understood to include the responsibility to protect others from harm. doing harm to their harmony. In these ways, the Sixth Commandment expands from a prohibition against physical killing into a comprehensive call to safeguard the divine image in all its vulnerable forms. Hasidic masters take these teachings to the beginning of the soul. Baal Shem Tov taught that every person carries a deep divine spark that no other soul possesses. When we publicly shame someone, destroy their reputation, we push that spark deeper into concealment. The light that was meant to shine in the world becomes hidden, and both the individual and the collective are diminished. In Hasidic thought, the ego often seeks to elevate itself by diminishing others, cutting someone down with words, exposing their weakness for the sake of power, amusement, or reducing them to a target of contempt or other expressions of this impulse. The deeper work of the Sixth Commandment is to restrain that impulse and to choose instead to protect the spark in the other person. The author Rebbe and later contributors emphasize that refining one's speech and one's behaviors toward others is such a part of spiritual service. When we hold back from words that would whiten another's face, we elevate sparks and create more space for divine presence. Conversely, when we indulge in humiliation or character destruction, we add to the walls of concealment. Part of goes back to the relations, relation with yourself, relationship with others, relationship with God, right? Relationship with God, when church goes into it, it's like he's the foundation for the other two. By being with God or relationship with God, and we that mind of being trying themselves, but themselves, they're able to guide towards holiness and fulfillment. The same goes with other people. Um, living the extended Sixth Commandment, right? Therefore, it becomes an ongoing tikkun, repairing the damage done to the divine image and helping to reveal more light in human relationships. The deeper applications of the Sixth Commandment carry profound spiritual significance for every soul. It expands our understanding of harm. We learn that a person can be deeply wounded without a hand being raised. That cultivates restraint and reverence. The awareness that words can shed blood trains us to speak with greater care. It protects the divine image on in everyday life. Probably not. Here we go. Oh no. All right. That cultivates restraint and reverence. The awareness that words can shed blood trains us to speak with greater care. Protects the divine image in everyday life. Honoring dignity in ordinary interactions becomes a form of sacred service. It reveals the culture of contempt. When more people refuse to humiliate or destroy reputations, the social atmosphere itself becomes more life giving. It contributes to redemption, a world in which human dignity is carefully guarded. So we're ready for divine presence and peace. Every time we choose to protect rather than diminish another person, we add life to the collective process of repair. So we choose to extend that that divine service into people that that divine awareness spreads. Right? There's a communication and a transference transaction there that did not tear supervise. So yeah, it's happens. Yeah. Okay, refuse to participate in public humiliation. Do not join in laughter or commentary that enriches someone in front of others. Guard reputations. Avoid sharing damaging information that's unnecessary or constructive. Repair when you have caused shame. If you have embarrassed someone, take responsibility and seek to restore their dignity. Practice the opposite. Look for opportunities to honor people publicly and privately. Examine the motive. Notice when the desire to speak publicly is driven by ego, security, the need to be secure, and choose restraint. Sixth Commandment, understood in its deeper dimensions, calls to for the avoidance of physical violence. It asks us to become guardians of dignity, to recognize that words can wound as deeply as weapons, and that protecting another person's honor is itself sacred. This week, pay close attention to his speech and to movements. When someone's dignity is at risk, choose a situation which you will actively protect rather than diminish. Trust that these choices help you both individual lives and the larger world. If this teaching resonated, please share in the comments how do you work to protect the dignity of others in everyday life. Right? This is right. I think I think it's like if these words strengthen your commitment and reverence for you. Subscribe for more explorations of Torah's specific wisdom and life for a time and turn on notifications. I think it does go both ways. Like, so may your words preserve dignity rather than destroy it. May you become a protector of the divine image in others. May your strength and respect act out a quiet force for healing and redemption. Until next time, guard the spark, or spark another under the face before you and help bring a more and more world into being. Everyone, happy Sunday. Hope the rest of the weekend goes well. Be healthy, be happy, be blessed. See you tomorrow.